So welcome to our first year induction slideshow. This is for our first years who will be joining us in late August 2020. And we're going to bring you over the next few minutes, going to bring you over as many aspects of the school as possible to begin your transition and your preparation for your new school starting late August of 2020.
Hello, my name is Mr. Lean. I'm the principal of the Mercy Secondary School in Tuam. So you're hoping to start with us at the end of August, and we're really looking forward to seeing you. So what we're going to do over the next short while is we're going to bring you through as many facets and parts of the school as possible, show you some of the sights and sounds of the school. You'll meet some of the key personnel in the school, and we'll bring you through the main issues that will be arising for you to know ahead of starting in the end of August. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see my email address if you wish to contact me. So I hope that you find this useful, your folks find it useful, and we are recording it obviously and sending it out to you so that throughout the summer, if you wish to go back and check things that we've said or put up on screen and so on, that you can do that. Plus also we'll be emailing documents out to you, options for subjects, lists, book lists, timetables, or calendars for the year and so on. So to help you to get as ready for school as possible and talk to you about those first early days in school as well. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes. So thank you. And I hope you enjoy the presentation that's coming up as I bring you through it, and you'll meet the key personnel in the school also who will be assisting you with those concerns or questions you may have. Okay, we'll talk to you towards the end of the production. So what we'll be looking at in this presentation, well, we're going to look at the school book rental scheme that's in place, the school uniform, the main subjects that you'll be taking when you go to first year and what options are available to you. We'll be looking at the calendar of the year, the starting dates and the end dates for each term. We'll be looking at what happens for the first 3 days that you arrive into secondary school. We'll be talking a little bit about academic performance and how we expect students to achieve their best and how they strive to do that and what structures are in place around that. And then we'll talk a little bit at the end towards remote learning, if that is in place, but more particularly, whether it is or not, how we use the school-based app called Compass to allow parents to see what homework is being done, attendances, also your timetable, school reports will go on, and also online payments can take place using Compass. Throughout the presentation, you will meet some of the key personnel that will become part of your life here in first year. The first person you're going to meet is the school deputy principal, Catherine Murphy. So she'll be speaking to you very shortly. Then after that, you'll be hearing from the year head for first years, Miss Helen Costello. And she'll be talking to you a little bit about what her role is as you begin your new life in secondary school. And after that, then you'll also be hearing from Miss Broner Lynch, our German teacher, German history teacher. And she'll be talking to you a little bit about her role as well in terms of the student well-being. And that will be a common theme that you'll find across the presentation and how important that is and ways to help you to integrate into new school life. So now let's talk a little bit about how we set up for the books for each year group. So the school has in place, obviously there'll be a book list, but most students, the vast majority of students, engage with the book rental system that's in place. And how that works is all textbooks and related workbooks are covered under the scheme. So it means you don't have to worry about any of the textbooks and even changes that may occur in second and third year. They're all covered by the scheme. So what does the student and their parents have to buy to prepare for school? Well, you have to buy the pens and copybooks. If they're taking art as a subject, as one of their options, then they'll have to buy the art pack when they come in early September. Dictionaries, calculators, the school journal, yes, you'll have to buy all those, and the exam papers later on in second and third year. But the cost for if you were to buy the books in first year, it would cost anywhere around €300, I guess, between all books and workbooks and so on. But if you are engaging with the book rental system, it simply costs €80 per year, and that covers all of your books. At the end of each year, then students give back the books and they store them in the school over the summer. That isn't in place this year because of because we were trying to avoid unnecessary trips into school and so on. But normally, students at the end of first and second year, that they would leave the books here for the summer and collect them when they come back in second year. So as I say, most students are engaged with this, and details of this will be given to you in the email and sent out to you. And in order to be on the book rental scheme, parents will have the facility to pay for this online when they download their compass and so on. And that will all be given out to you in early to mid-August. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about the school uniform now. So students wear, the picture on the left-hand side here shows you the typical uniform. Navy pinafore, white blouse, royal blue jumper with school crest. Navy black shoes you're asked to wear navy or black shoes, not runners, navy or black shoes preferably please. Navy tights with a school tie, and students also have the option to wear navy pants if so in junior cycle. Also then we have the PE uniform, and it's here on the left, and we will give you details as to where you can buy the school uniform. But it's a hooded top with the school crest on it, and navy non-branded tracksuit bottoms and a white polo shirt. And the PE uniform is worn when students are going to an outing, a trip, a tour, for the day away someplace. They might be going on a field trip or something where it might be more practical to wear the school PE uniform. Or of course when they're doing PE, or if they're playing a match or they're going with some team, be it a Gaelic team, camogie, rugby, whatever team, whatever they're doing, activity they're doing, that they may wear their PE uniform. And so it's important that it's worn correctly and that students do have it. The uniform is available in the schoolwear shop, schoolwear centre, and the best way to find that is available. I understand that you can now order your uniform online. Taking into consideration safety concerns with the coronavirus. So what you can do is, if you just Google Schoolwear Centre Tuam, you'll click on it there and you'll see our uniform, and you can order online then. And that, as I understand, is the only provider of uniforms here in Tuam. So moving on then, we're going to move on now. We're going to look at some of the sights and sounds of life here in the Mersey. So let's look at some of the subjects that you'll be taking then when you come into first year and for your first 3 years in junior cycle. What we're going to look at then is the three main, if we break our subjects into three main parts. So you have the core or well-being subjects, which everyone takes. Then you'll have your languages, and then you'll have the three option subjects out of a choice of 6 that you can take. If we break that down a little bit further then, we'll look at those core subjects. So you have maths, English and history. And then here in the Mersey also we take religion, and we take the well-being subjects. So PE, choir, orchestra, IT, SPHEC, SP, they're all regarded as being part of the well-being program of the school. Moving on then, all students will get the option to take either French or German, and over the first few days there's a taster and a lot of detail given by teachers on what is involved in taking either French or German, so students can take either. And then the vast majority of students do take Irish, but some students don't take it, and if that is the case, be it by exemption or otherwise, parents can come and talk to us about that. And then we take our three option subjects. So The options are taken from a group of 6 subjects. So you can see here we have art and business, geography, home economics, music, and science. If we take that a little bit further then, talk about those option subjects and how you will come to decide and help around that. Normally speaking, when we have our induction day, students come in and they get a sample of each of the options and they get some advice from teachers and so on as how that works. The option subjects there are art, business, geography, home ec, music, and science. So what we're going to do this year to give you the best possible chances, we're going to send out an options form, an online options form, and also I will give you some detail then of the curriculum, what's involved in each of those. On that form, you can zone in on that and get some idea of what's involved. And then we're asking then for you to fill out the online form and send it back to us and to tell us what subjects your daughter chooses to pick. She'll be asked to make a preference list in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So which subject she wants to take most, be it art, and then she wants to take geography, and then she wants to take music, or art, business, home economics, or maybe it's science, music, and home economics. And we will try then to meet those needs, but it may not be possible to give everyone their first 3. So I'd be open-minded on it, and I would give, if possible, your first 5 or 6 preferences, and let's see how we can do then. The vast majority will get their first 3 preferences. We will do our best to do that. And then when you submit that form back to us, we hope to have the timetable in place then. So when they do come in August and early September, the students will be able to go into their classes in full. Now, you could ask as well, what if they've decided to pick a subject like home economics and then midway through September they change their mind about it? Well, normally we do have space, and normally we allow students to move. They discuss it with their teacher that they're in with, who they're having concerns around that subject, and they also will discuss it then with potentially the teacher they move over to assist them with that. Is it something that they want to do to try and help them? And that we do try to, if it's at all possible to accommodate a student to move in the early days, then we try to do that.
Hello girls, my name is Mrs. Murphy. I'm the Deputy Principal in the Mercy. I'd just like to say welcome to you all. We're really looking forward to having you in our school in September. We know that the last term in primary school hasn't been an easy one for you, and you've missed out on a lot of the things that you would normally enjoy and look forward to in 6th class. So we hope in some way that when you come into us, we'll be able to sort of make up in some ways, and certainly we will be providing a full induction course for secondary school for all of our first year students. So I suppose one of the questions I'm often asked as Deputy Principal and asked by students and parents is, how do we support our students in the Mercy? Well, we have many ways in which we do that. And firstly, I suppose we support students by providing a very comprehensive wellbeing programme through the curriculum. And the wellbeing subjects on the curriculum are SPHE, CSPE, PE, guidance, RE, and some other subjects also have a wellbeing element to them. But I suppose you are familiar with some of these subjects from primary school, and you will know that these subjects give you an opportunity to learn and to discuss issues that are relevant to you, and to support you in learning how to deal with issues and how to behave and interact in the adolescent world that you are part of now, and the adult world that you are entering into. So we also provide a lot of extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities. So a lot in the area of sport, music, art, culture, debating. There are very many extracurricular activities, as you know, in our school. We also have trips and field trips and trips abroad. So a very wide range of opportunities for you over the next few years to develop your talents and your abilities and pursue your passions and also have some fun. We strongly believe in respect for everybody in the school. This is something that's very important to us. We welcome diversity, we welcome difference. We believe that diversity and difference make us stronger, more united. We believe in building strong relationships and lasting friendships, and this is something that we really work on here in the Mercy. We believe in protecting our students. We have strong care policies in place, such as anti-bullying policy, child safeguarding policy, and many other policies that relate to well-being and safety. As well as that, we provide a healthy environment in our school. We are lucky enough to have some substantial grounds around our school, so beautiful walks that the girls really enjoy, a little inner courtyard for chats at break time. We also, of course, have a lot of PE facilities, so for fitness and physical exercise we have 2 gyms, as you know. We have a lot of IT facilities. We also have quiet spaces in the room, such as in the school, such as the meditation room and the school oratory and a reading area in the library. One of the things our students do really like in our school is our canteen. We have a very healthy menu, but it's also an interesting menu, and our on-site chef always does his best to create something new on the menu every week, and it's always something to look forward to at break time. So the canteen provides breakfasts, lunches, snacks, and if we're going anywhere, we'll provide packed lunches and, anything that we really need in the way of healthy food. So to continue on from that, we also have some very solid structures in place in school to support wellbeing. One of these is the student support team. So the student support team is made up of myself, the guidance counsellor, the school chaplain, and another member of staff. And I suppose our work really is to intervene where there's a problem or an issue for a student. It could be any kind of issue. It could be related to learning, it could be related to school, it could be related to something else that's going on in the student's life. So what we try to do is provide support, provide a safe place, someone to come and chat to, someone to maybe reassure you. We can provide a safe place for talk, a quiet space. We can provide access to learning support, access to counselling if necessary, and sometimes just a quiet space to chill out in for a little while if that's what's needed. We also have a year head and tutor system, but your year head, Miss Costello, is going to speak to you in a few moments, so I will leave that to her. We have a student mentor system whereby a small group of students is allocated to one senior student, and that senior student becomes like a big sister. And our first years like this because it gives them another student in school to ask questions about school, somebody of your own age group that can help you out there. And they will also help you to find places, show you around, organise little events for you during the year, things like that. We have a first year induction programme, so over the first few weeks we'll be working very closely with the first year students, and that continues on through the year as well, to make sure that everybody gets the chance to settle in, ask questions, get to know their teachers, get to know their fellow students, become familiar with secondary school life, which of course is quite different to primary school. But I would say that there is absolutely no need for you to be nervous about coming into school. We will look after you, we will answer your questions, we'll make sure that you are feeling secure in the school. So, as I said, we have a tradition of care in our school, and we're very proud of that. And we want your secondary school experience to be positive. We want you to feel nurtured, we want you to feel happy, we want you to feel that you have an opportunity to fulfill your potential in school. And we are, that you come into the school as a teenager, or some of you aren't even teenagers, but you will leave as adults and young women ready to go out into the world. And that is, something that we work towards with you, and we support you along that very important journey. So I'm going to pass you over now to Miss Costello, your year head, and she's going to speak to you first. And then following that, Miss Brona Lynch, who will be working closely with you during your induction, and who also has a lot to do with well-being in the school. So she's going to speak to you for a few minutes around some of the things you might look forward to as you come into first year. So looking forward to seeing you soon, girls.
My name is Helen Costello, and I'm happy to let you know that I will be year head for first years in September. My role is to ensure that your daughter makes a happy transition from primary to secondary school despite these challenging times. It is also my duty to oversee her academic progress, discipline and pastoral care, which really means keeping an eye on her day-to-day activities, ensuring that she settles in, makes friends and finding her way around, and happy in her new school. And should you ever have any queries, feel free to email me or ring. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in September.
So now we're going to look at the calendar of the year as it stands now. There may be changes to it, depending on guidelines that may come from the Department of Education. But as of now, we're hoping to have all our first years in place and in school, starting their first registration day. It'll only be for 2 hours that morning. It'll give them a feel for the place. They'll be here on their own from 9:15 to 11:15. And on that morning, we will look to organise their lockers. So their lockers is given to them. They pay for their lockers as such using the administration levy. It covers their insurance. The administration contribution covers their insurance, covers their lockers, and covers photocopying for the year. Also, if they're doing Saturday study, that they will get a reduction on that. And if there is school tours or buses being used, then we try to subsidise that as much as possible. Generally, a school trip next year will cost students around €2 to €3 per school trip. At 11:15 then, 11:30 potentially, we'll be meeting parents for about an hour, or it may not even take an hour that morning here in the big hall. There should be plenty of space, so we should be able to keep people 2 meters apart. We'll be giving advice around that. We'll probably be looking for just 1 or 2 parents to visit school, and we have quite a big hall, so we think we can work that using a 2 meter spacing. With the parents only if necessary, if that's safer. And then we'll just be going through some of the use of the school journal, introduction to the school app, more detailed introduction to the school app and so on, and just what's happening over the coming weeks and so on, and maybe also give parents a good idea as to how the school will be managing and how the guidelines and what maps and what precautions and policies and protocols are in place, I guess is the best way to put it, while the coronavirus is still a live issue here and in the country. So after that then, I guess the important dates for you to know is on Monday 28th of September, all schools in Tuam are closed on that day. And then the midterm break starts on Friday the 23rd of October. So the first half term takes us right through until the 23rd of October. Following on from that then, they come back the following Monday week after that, and then they are on right through until December 23rd. And the day before Christmas Eve is Christmas holidays. It finishes here around 12 o'clock that day, and they are back on January the 6th, which I think is a Wednesday. That goes through until midterm. The final week before midterm is general exam week, and usually their exams. Now you'll get a more detailed calendar towards the end of the summer. Generally, we do exams in 10 weeks. So after 10 weeks, we have a set of exams, a set of tests, and the results that will go up on Compass for you to see. The first round of exams will take place towards the end of November. The second round of exams will take place towards the end of, just before the midterm break in February, same time as at the mocks, which are due to take place at that time. And the third round of exams will take place in early June, late May, early June. The Easter break is March 26th. There will be a day for St. Patrick's on the 17th. And they come back after 2 weeks at Easter. All students will come back and they'll go right through until the 4th of June. As I say, there will be a more detailed calendar made available to you. It'll be on the Compass app for you to see at any time you want. And also we will email it out to you. So that's the main calendar school year. So now I'm going to hand you over and you're going to listen and meet Miss Brona Lynch, who's going to talk to you a little bit now.
Hi girls, my name is Miss Lynch and I am a German and history teacher in the Mercy. So I hope you are all getting excited and looking forward to starting first year. We can't wait to meet you, and I'm going to talk to you today about 2 initiatives that I'm involved in at the Mercy. So at the Mercy, we really believe that the student voice is very important. So this means that we make sure that we listen to and we hear all of your opinions and concerns. And in order to make all this possible, we have what is called a student council. So who is in the student council? The student council is made up of the chairperson, the deputy chairperson, we have a treasurer, a secretary and a public relations officer, and these students are all chosen from Leaving Cert. We then have a prefect and a vice prefect from each year and each class. So what exactly do the student council do? So the student council represent the entire student body. They are the voice of the students. They're the link between management and students. They hold and chair meetings every 2 weeks. They hear and take the problems and concerns that students may have, and they discuss them thoroughly. They make sure that the confidentiality of each student is kept. They then take necessary action to solve these problems. They organise events in the schools, such as Jumpstart January, which is a 2-week programme used to promote positive mental health and to relieve some stress. They also fundraise for necessary causes. They work to empower students, and they represent the student body at various events throughout the school year. So some of you might be wondering, how do you take part in the student council? So if you are trustworthy and reliable, if you're responsible, then maybe you might be interested in joining our student council and representing your peers. And this is done through an election in each class, and this normally happens at the beginning of the year. So another thing that we feel very strongly about in the Mercy is promoting positive mental health and well-being. So looking after our well-being is something that we incorporate into every part of every day at the Mercy. But to further strengthen this, the Student Council hosts a 2-week well-being programme after Christmas, and it's called Jumpstart January. So this is a jam-packed programme full of fun and exciting activities to suit all interests. So just to give you an example of some of the activities that we would have had down through the years, we would have had lots of different types of sports, so basketball and volleyball. We would have had comedians come in. We would have done some meditation in our meditation room. We would have had some yoga classes. We would have done some mindfulness colouring. We would have had class walks, Zumba, special offers in the canteen. We have done gospel singing. We have done all different types of dancing and cheerleading. We have done board games in the library, and we have held poster competitions.
We're going to look at the timetable for students. And I guess the first thing to understand is that there are a timetable. The timetable from Monday and Tuesday is from 9 to 4 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday and Friday then it's 9 to 3:30 p.m. So on Monday and Tuesday, classes start at morning 9 o'clock, and there are 3 classes before break time. Then there are another 3 classes mid-morning right up to lunchtime, 40 minutes of lunch, and then there are 3 classes in the afternoon. On Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 again in the morning, 3 mid-morning after break, but there are only 2 classes in the evening. That's why we finish at 3:30. So students, let's look a little bit about what's going to happen on Friday the 28th of August when we start. So that morning is quite a short morning for you. You're here at 9:15, and it will go on to around 11:15 in that morning. Mainly, we'll be asking you to wear a uniform that day. We'll be coming in, we'll be getting you organised around your lockers. We'll be getting your school books organised, and anything remaining that needs to be done, we can get that organised so that when you do start the following Monday, you have got a feel for the place and your bearings are just a little bit better on the place. And you've got just an idea around if there are safety guidelines in place, social distancing and so on. We'll have given you a good briefing on that, so you will come in on Monday and you won't be worried about those. And we'll have what's expected of students, and staff will be very clear on that. But also it will just remove that sense of anxiety over that last weekend, so that when you're coming in on Monday, you probably will feel you already know the place really well. Then following on, when we come back on that Monday morning, you're in school from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the Monday. On that morning, you'll be talking a bit more to your head, Miss Costello, who you met earlier on there. She'll be explaining how to follow your timetable. You'll be meeting each of your teachers over the school day, and then there will be some activities to help with getting to know your classmates a bit better. That just will help in that process. And then students then on that day, just a reminder, I think the buses are running on the Monday. They probably are not running Friday the 28th, but they are running on the Monday. I'm not so sure what guidelines are in place around buses and so on, but that Monday, not all students will be back. So I assume there'll be lots of space in the bus anyway, because not all first years will be back in the other schools around the town. On Monday, though, you can bring your own lunch if you want, but we're hoping to have the canteen opened. So students will probably have to queue using social distancing, but you will be allowed to have your lunch in the canteen that morning, or bring your own lunch. You'll be able to buy lunch in the canteen that morning. We try to provide as healthy as possible lunches for students. And we would ask parents also to encourage the students to eat as healthily as possible while they're here. We try to make the food as less expensive as possible. We don't make much of a profit in the canteen. It's there for students who want to get a good deal in the middle of the day. Like a lot of students will might be getting home at 5 o'clock in the evening with bus and so on, so they need a good dinner in the middle of the day. So we try to provide that for them if possible, as inexpensive as possible. Okay, on the second day then, the Tuesday, so some Leaving Certs will be in around the morning. They'll have orientation that morning as well. They'll have some talks and so on, but they won't actually be in class. But we will be asking students to be in, first year students to be in from 9 to 4 that day. And realistically, what you can expect is you'll be engaging with your timetable as fully as possible on that day. You'll be have met most of your teachers at that stage. We will do a small bit more training though on Compass and how to read your Compass, how to use Compass, making sure. So we probably will be allowing students to bring their mobile phones in that day. Normally we don't. So probably we'll be allowing students to bring their mobile phones if they have mobile phones that day. If not, they'll have the use of a laptop here to try to access their Compass accounts to go in and see where their homework would be left for them. And also, I suppose what works is I'll have talked to parents the previous Friday about the Compass and how it works. All parents that day should have username and password and downloaded the app. So we'll have a fair idea for everyone then how that works, so that when it comes to putting work up or looking at homework, what needs to be done, what we call learning tasks on Compass, not homework, the parents will be able to see where the work is, and if students are submitting online, how that is happening. Depending on which situation we're in. So we're going to move on now, and the next slide is another few sights and sounds, just a short slide and show on sights and sound of the Mercy to give you a better idea again of what goes on here in the Mercy. So now let's look at the area of academic performance. And this is a key part to going to school. So even though you're coming into first year and the Leaving Cert seems like a long, long way away, the preparation for students around exams and how they cope with exams and how they manage exams, that's a strong focus for myself and the staff here in Scoil Bhríde. And we have a lot of structures in place to try to facilitate that. We believe that we should give as much opportunity for study as possible. So evening study here starts around 20 minutes after the end of school, and it's broken into two parts, an hour and a quarter and an hour and a quarter, and it's usually finished around 7:30 or so in the evening. The cost for that is €180 for first study for the year and €300 for the whole year. And students can just go up on the evening, whatever evening they want to start, and they go to the study hall where it takes place. And John, Davin and Bhríde here are in charge of that. We also have a Saturday study, which we put on, generally starts after Halloween. And then we also have study that goes on during the Christmas and the Easter time as well. That's taken up a lot by exam students or students facing into mocks. We would have a whole week of study here before we go back to school. So that would be from the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th of January. We would also have it for the 1st and 2nd week of Easter. We would have whole days of study here in the school supervised. At very reasonable prices, because it's not about making a profit, really, it's about providing the opportunity. And the other thing we do is have a homework club here in the evening for students who may be taking the second bus home, maybe waiting for a parent to collect them. So rather than sitting around the place, they can come here to the library. It's generally supervised, it's very quiet, and students get a lot of their homework done. So when they are getting the bus then and getting home, they will have a lot of their homework done already here in the library in supervised and a proper study environment. So why is all that important? Well, I guess one of the key tasks for any school is to help students to realise their ambitions and to try to achieve them then. And so when they're finishing secondary school, whatever their ambitions are, that they are well equipped to go out in the world and to go after those ambitions. And of course, CAO points, if they want to go on the 3rd level, is a key point. This year we've introduced a Leaving Cert Applied for 5th years. So we have students taking the Leaving Cert subjects, which will bring them to college, and also Leaving Cert Applied, which will allow them to go on to study post-Leaving Cert courses afterwards. And I guess that is also a reflection on how important we take exams and preparing you for after school. And I guess what would be key to that is that we would get many people as possible to achieve those ambitions. And we do that regularly. We are one of the best performing schools in the area. Last summer, we were the top performing school in terms of students graduating to CAO colleges. So getting enough points to get the course they wanted and moving on. And we were, by a considerable margin, the best performing college in the town. So you are entering a school that will want to get the best out of you and want you to achieve your best students. And keep that in mind throughout. Our class sizes in first year will be very small, so that gives you a great chance. It also gets over some of the guidelines around COVID and so on, but it does give you a chance to make a really good start and to get underway and start realizing those great ambitions you have and those great hopes you have as you make your way towards through 2nd level. So we're looking now at how we manage, and how one of the main links, we'll say, between school and home is by using our new app, which is the Compass app. And I guess this is a really important tool for both students in their learning, and also the link between school and home for parents. To use the Compass app, you need to go to the App Store and make a search for Compass School Management. And that will come from the App Store or Google Play. And then when you have downloaded it, we hope to send you out your username and password pretty quickly towards mid to late August. So you have a good idea and you'll be able to log in and also receive notifications from the school. And when you're in the app, you'll need to go, first of all, search for your school, and it'll be Scoil Bhríde you'll find, and then it will automatically go there every time. So the Compass app does have a lot of roles to play in terms of linking school with home. But to name out a few of those, it would be timetabling for your daughter's subjects, your academic reports, her academic reports throughout the year. So after 10 weeks, after 20 weeks and 30 weeks, we would send out notifications, school events on things that are coming up, parent-teacher meetings, recitals and so on, major events that are taking place in the school. So it's a constant link between school and home. Plus, we hope then next year, no matter what's happening, that the homework the teachers are giving the students, so that goes up in the Compass app. So that would also be a benefit for students who may be gone to a sporting event, who may have missed time, who may be sick or whatever. They can keep up to date by logging on to their Compass app at home to see what homework is being done and what homework has been given out to the students. So it provides a continuity then for students who may be at home for whatever reason for a day or so. That's a really important thing. And also then it allows parents to pay for the book rental, the admin fee, which is €100 per student, or for sisters 180, and also to pay for the school journal. And later on, when you have exam students in third year and Leaving Cert, it'll also allow you to pay for the mocks as we go through the year. So the school app then is Compass, the Compass app. So you will become more familiar with it, and it will become quite a useful link between school and home. So we're moving towards the end of our production now. And I guess we want to start forming the link straight away. So one of the things we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks is every student at the moment in the school has their own school email. So it's usually their name at mercytuam.com. And the incoming first years will be no different. They'll be given an email address. We'll send it out to the parents and you, parents and guardians, and you can organise setting up with them and logging on so for the first time with them. And that will become a really important connection between school and home. We'll also be compiling a database of email addresses for parents so that you are in a group set of messages that go out and also that is part of that would be also on the Compass app. You'll see it when you go into Compass app, and you'll see the email address for your daughter, and your own email address will be on it as well. Just a reminder that a lot of what we do is available to see on www.mercytuam.com. It's our website. It's just been reconstructed, and I will go there. I will also become familiar with other things, other parts of the school that are important in terms of keeping the linkage with school and home. Of course, the primary link is the Compass app, but we also have a WhatsApp. So we have broadcast lists on that. So we'll be adding parents to that if that's okay with you. So we try to keep you linked up with what's going on then. You can just ring the old style, ring up the telephone. 093 24199 is the telephone number at front of house. So our secretary Mary is there. She'll take the calls off you if you wish to make an appointment or if you wish to make contact with your daughter in school for whatever reason. The school email address, if you have any questions at all after this production or at any time, then just email, or I've given my email earlier is glean@mercytuam.com. So is Miss Murphy. It's cmurphy@mercytuam.com. hcostello@mercytuam.com was given from Miss Costello, but the overall school email address is info@mercytuam.com. As I said, each school, the school has an email for each student. Then it'll be their name at mercytuam.com, and we'll send out their email and their passwords for activation during the month of August. And of course, we have our social media presence as well on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you do a search for the Mercy Tuam, you will find us on all three of those portals. So, linking with the school, well, other things we do, of course, we'll have a parent-teacher meeting in the spring of 2021 for first years. At any time, you can make an appointment to meet myself or Miss Murphy or even the year head. And I've already mentioned the email address to them. And I guess at this point then, all that needs to be said is we hope that you are already receiving information from us. This is being recorded and put up on YouTube, so it may be shared by more than those who are coming to the school. But the people who we want to make direct contact with are people who are looking at coming to the Mercy in November, so that we are talking to you over the summer, keeping you up to date with information and so on. So if you aren't receiving linked email to us directly, so can you please email us or contact us at any of the addresses that I've given earlier, and we will join you in on the first year groups and so on for notifications. So all that's left to be said then is we're looking forward to seeing everyone on the start of their journey on August the 28th. It's 9:15 for the students and then 11:30 for parents. We'll be observing social distance guidelines and so on that morning. But that will be the start of your journey. I guess if you want, you can make the start of your journey now as you watch this and as we send documents to you over the coming weeks and so on. But I hope you have a nice summer. I hope you get a break. I know that you're all finishing up and graduating from primary school as we speak this week, and that is a nice experience for you. And I'd say not to worry, that everyone starts at secondary school at some stage, and so everyone knows that it will take a while to settle in. That won't be a major problem. I know all the students that are coming in. It's going to be a really nice class. Our staff and everyone here is really looking forward to seeing you starting in late August. and we will take it from their parents, and we hope to see you on that day as well. Any questions you might have, please don't hesitate to contact us by email. The office is open for another few weeks. We will be taking most of July out, but we'll be coming back around the 7th or 8th of August, and we should be back full time at that stage. So thank you very much, and thanks for looking at this production. From everyone here at the Mercy, have a nice summer, and we look forward to you starting on the 28th of August. Bye bye now.